A dramatic ending to the first Clasico of the season. Frustrations boiling over at the end and drama from the dugouts as well. At the end of it, that Real Madrid have stopped that losing run against Barcelona. They lost all 4 Clásicos against them last season, and now they have set things straight, and Xabi Alonso has added his name to the win list for debut Clasico coaching feats. Real Madrid 5 points clear of Barcelona now at the top of the table after 10 rounds played. Lots to discuss in this game. Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham both on the score sheet and both doing what they needed to do for their sides today. What's the overriding feeling from you as we do welcome in Luis Garcia as well? In fact, go on, Craig.
Yeah, Luis is in place.
He's in place.
Ready.
We've got you in a minute, Luis. Give me your overriding thoughts, Craig.
He's dropped Sidlow. I think that graphic told a great story. Real Madrid did much more with less possession, were much more of a threat with less possession, and defended much better than they had in the Madrid derby and some of the games recently. Just over 30% of the ball, and I think most of that was probably the second half, where it did go towards Barcelona as Real Madrid dropped off a little bit. First half was probably a little bit more equal, but I thought they were always the bigger threat. I thought they exposed the high line, particularly in the first half. It's a couple of very close offsides. I thought they were very strong in the middle of the park. I think Militao mastered the back four really well. And Barca grew into the game. A lot of possessions, but how many big saves did Thibaut Courtois have to make? So, you know, we could debate the penalty that Mbappe missed and the Eric Garcia hand and the proximity. But I think Real Madrid were the better side. They were the better organised. They were the bigger threat. They created more chances with much less of the ball, and I think deserved the 3 points.
I have no issue in telling you that this first 45 minutes by Real Madrid were the best 45 minutes that they played under Xabi Alonso. The totality of the game on Real Madrid in the first 45 minutes was really impressive. Now, we know full well what Kylian Mbappe can do. We saw Vini Jr. very active, Jude Bellingham active as well. He's the one that assists for the goal by Kylian Mbappe. But what was most impressive, and why I say it was the best performance that we have seen from Real Madrid under Xabi Alonso in those 45 minutes, is the intensity with which they pressed the ball. They did not perhaps win the first challenge, but the second challenge, you have Tchouaméni flying and cleaning somebody out. You have Camavinga flying and cleaning somebody out. And if they miss it, then here comes Fede Valverde and does the same thing, or Militao does the same thing. And they managed to get on top of Barcelona in attacking positions. And while Barcelona may have had a lot of the ball, they were not exactly dangerous with that possession, certainly in the first half. And what we saw was the potential of what Real Madrid can do and can be when they're all together working defensively, when they're all pressing the ball, when Vini is engaged defensively, when Mbappe is engaged defensively, and then, of course, once they're able to regain possession in high areas and in good areas, that's when you can expose Barcelona defensively, and they did that for the Kylian Mbappe goal. I thought it was an impressive performance from Real Madrid, certainly in the first half. The second half, the dynamics of the game changed naturally, but the first half of Real Madrid today, again, was the best first 45 minutes that we have seen of Real Madrid under Xabi Alonso.
We've brought somebody else onto the coverage. We wanted to balance things out a bit with an ex-Barcelona player and an ex-Real Madrid player. Steve McManaman joining us now with Luis Garcia. Steve, let me start with you then. Advantage Real Madrid, worthy winners today for you?
Yes, I think so. Listening to Ali and Craig, I go along with what they said. I thought they were impressive in the first half. I thought they had a plan, didn't they, that whenever they lost the ball, they got the 11 players behind the ball. I was impressed with Vini Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. They always looked dangerous, didn't they, on the counter-attack, and particularly using Kylian's pace. I thought they dropped off the level in the second half slightly, and they just used counter-attacks just to make the chances. But I thought they were the better team. I didn't think it was a penalty, the Kylian Mbappe penalty. But I thought Real Madrid just edged it. And I think without Lewandowski, without Rafinha, with that little bit of magic, I think Real Madrid were probably worthy winners today.
Fair for you, Luis?
No, I totally agree. I think we all seen the same game. The first 45, I think the Real Madrid look a lot more dangerous. I think that once again, Xavi, and we've been talking about what Xavi could bring to this Real Madrid side, and that is structure. We saw a very solid Real Madrid, and not giving much to Barcelona, not leaving spaces for the players who can be dangerous on the wide areas, and even those links in between the lines that they like to do, or passes to try to arrive to the best position near the area. And again, he got it right in the middle of the park. There was a lot of concerns if Mastantuono or Dagule were going to be involved, who was the one who has to be playing near Tchouaméni. And Camavinga, I think it was really, really important today to give it that strength, that intensity, that energy that you need to play against this Barcelona side in the middle. And in the end, when you are ahead, when you play against Real Madrid and they get ahead, it's very difficult to play against, because you have to commit players forward, you leave space at the back, and then you are going to be in trouble. So Barcelona didn't have enough creativity up front. They are missing important players. We talked about them. And today it was shown that when Lewandowski is not there, when Rafinha is not there, when Lamine Yamal, that I think that didn't show up today much as we've seen it before. Barcelona struggled so much to create chances.
The issue with Lamine Yamal is that if you're going to run your mouth before the game and you become the story before the game, then all the attention is going to be on you on the game and during the match, and then that demands a big-time performance in a big-time match. And we did not have a big-time performance from Lamine Yamal. And so he is this kid that the smile and the bleach blonde hair, and now he's crowning himself, and that attracts attention to himself. Well, here we are. We're paying attention. And you know who else is paying attention? Real Madrid. And some of the reactions that we saw at the end of the match, where you see Vini, who I'm not going to defend, I'm just reporting facts here, or reporting the news. He's doing one of these to Lamine Yamal and to Barcelona. You're yapping, you're talking, right? You are attracting attention to yourself if you're Lamine. You're highlighting yourself. You're bringing yourself into the middle of the conversation, and then the performance doesn't quite back it up. Then you're exposed. And this is the reality of playing professional football at the highest level. I think Lamine Yamal is an outstanding talent. I've said it 1 time, 3 times, 10 times, 20 times that he should have won the Ballon d'Or. And yet, I don't like the whole idea of I'm going to make this about my comments, I'm going to make this about my behavior, I'm going to make this about crowning myself, and then you don't back it up with a performance. The performance today of Lamine Yamal was on the fringes of the game, and Barcelona needed him to be in the middle of everything that was productive in the attack. That was not the case.
His goals and that magnificent run he went on were being in the right place at the right time. We saw that again today. But he just looked a lot stronger, he looked a lot fitter, he looked a lot sharper, and he should have had that operation, this stupid Club World Cup, he should have had that operation as soon as the season finished, and he would have been fit and fresh for the start of the season, not fit and fresh in late October. But he's looking better now, he's got 2 goals. He talked about it before the game, he mentioned it, Sid Lowe mentioned it, that goal in midweek against Juve had just given him a bit of confidence again, even though it was a tap-in. And this one will add to that, so yeah. He looked back to, without being brilliant, he just looked back to being a bit of a powerhouse in the middle of the park.
OK, Luis Garcia, Jude Bellingham, just what he needed right now, a big week like this, and both goals that he scored have been the winning goals for Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. And being what we saw about him, that the box-to-box midfielder who can help you at the back, but also bring the ball forward, connected to the players up front, and arriving. How important is when he arrived in second line, those kind of fantastic run when no one is expecting him to be. And he reads very well what he was needed to be done today. That fantastic pass to Kylian Mbappe. He tried another couple of them. But I think overall it was a very, very good game on Jude Bellingham that we've been missing. Because against Atletico Madrid, everybody knew that he couldn't be sharp, fresh, and with rhythm of the competition. And today, I think he proved that he's very close to his 100%. So glad to see once again Jude Bellingham enjoying, and you could see that in the end, he gave everything. He was exhausted, he was replaced, started getting cramps, and important performance for him, for Real Madrid, because it's very important for the team.
I'll tell you how much the reality has changed for Kylian Mbappe at Santiago Bernabeu. Today, he missed a penalty. Great save from Chechny, but he missed a penalty. He comes off the field, and it's a standing ovation. Whereas last year, when he was missing penalties, when he was being called offside, there was this sort of moaning and groaning going at Santiago Bernabeu. That's not the case now. Kylian Mbappe is playing at the highest level possible, and he is indeed the man at Real Madrid. There's no doubt. We can talk about Vini here or Jude Bellingham there, but when we talk about Real Madrid in attack, the conversation starts and ends with Kylian Mbappe.
Yes, those Bernabeu fans not patient, but he's certainly won them over. Barcelona will be back in action against the newly promoted Elche in La Liga on November 2nd. You can catch that game on ESPN Plus, 12 p.m. Eastern. Let's get your final takeaways from what we saw today, Luis. What would you say if we were to ask you what you're taking away from today's performance?
From today's performance, I'm going to go for two sides. Of course, in the side of Barcelona, the problems continue with that high line, no pressure on the ball, and players continue moving forward. So you are in trouble much more while you're not aware of what is happening behind you. Everyone is ball watching, and the runs are in the spaces between the two centre backs. So a lot of work there. Plus, creativity up front. We missed today a lot Rafinha, we miss a lot Lewandowski, Dani Olmo, this kind of player who can make something different that Barcelona needed in that second half, where it was all about passing the ball to one side, very slow and without creating problems to Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, very well structured and doing the jobs that they need to do. So fantastic job from Xabi Alonso, well deserved. 3 points and moving on to the next one.
Absolutely. Ale?
The big question for me is whether Real Madrid can sustain what we saw in the first 45 minutes, that urgency and that intensity when they play against Valencia next week. That is what I want to see from Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid, that they can actually maintain that sort of interest in games that are not El Clasico.
I think from Barca's perspective, the creativity will come back. Players will get better, players will come back. But what about the back four? Will they be able to get that right? If they don't, they're unliable to be successful. For Real Madrid, after the Madrid derby, the beating they got from Atleti, this was a big day and their big players all showed up.